Carolyn Lomas. Cindy Nord.
Here.
Was the meeting, proper notifications go out and posting on the agenda?
Yes, sir, it did.
Can I have an approval of the agenda?
I make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Turn around for pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I read them prior to coming to the meeting, and based on what I saw, I would make a motion that we approve the minutes of October the 16th, 2023.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Election of officers. Okay, we'd like to open up the floor to nominations for chairman.
I nominate Paul Moscotti to continue as chairman for 2024.
I second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. For the zoning ordinance update, we're rewriting the zoning ordinance, which includes all the guidelines for all the development that y'all review, and Paul has been as part of a kind of a core committee that has met with a consultant, and we had a little setback in that she has left the consulting firm. Her name is Kelly McCormick, and but she has sent, I've been pushing her to get the sections of the architectural standards so we could get them to y'all for review. So she finally got those, which are pretty similar, but a little more graphics and takes out some of the extra language I think was in our ordinance that was kind of complicated. But I've sent that draft to the chair and Ralph. The headings and reorganize it, but what I would really like to do is get feedback on the actual language and how y'all, because it's ultimately a tool for y'all to use when you're up here and you get into a lot of the nuance of requirements, and you can use examples of the building that we just approved. And I think that the board thought that there was an elevation
Did you say the consultant that we met with that day has since left the firm?
she has.
Is that right? How
Yeah.
about that?
So I know it's unfortunate because she's relatively local, and so we're,
Well, hate to hear that.
yeah. But
That is a slow read. I will I will tell you that right now. But I'll finish my comments up. Ralph, you had made some comments. You want to share what an overview of your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a little premature.
the buildings that are on Scout because it's zoned industrial.
Wasn't aware of that really, but that's in the ordinance itself?
Correct.
We also, how about for the schools? You know, we missed the one, we're not involved in the one for the new Bethel Hanbury School.
Right.
And that I think got through us, got by us. And I think we ended up something that was, you know, probably wouldn't have approved. But you also had a pretty major expansion of Blythewood High School, which is
The architecture.
had oversight, like when you were over at Casey, who really kind of had the final say so or had some input on what design and what buildings would look like in both the factory and I guess the government?
Yeah, well, Blythewood's unique. Casey does not have a Board of Architecture review at all. So Forest Acres doesn't have, I mean, the ladies that came here, the Columbia, they may, I don't know, they're kind of more focused on downtown, but Casey doesn't have a Board of Architecture review that regulates the appearance of any commercial other than what's in the ordinance. I mean, so that would be at a staff level. But generally, you're not going to see, what you're going to see for industrial usually is like buffers.
But again, a business can come in and put up a very unattractive building, and there's no oversight whatsoever on an industrial.
For industrial zoning.
Is that common?
I don't know, I can find out. Like I said, I mean, a lot of towns don't have a Board of Architecture review, so, it's.
I will say that when the initial proposal was made by Richland County, that one of their selling points was that there would be architectural review of all those multiple buildings that went on that site. Again, that's prior to Scout.
Right, so, there are restricted covenants for that property, but the town is not, does not have the authority to enforce that. But they would, I mean, as a landowner, they would have to abide by their restricted covenants.
That's put on by.
Well, that bank, and one of the things you're going to run into is there's probably 10 or 15 feet of wire that's connected to it that's buried in front of it in the bank. That's going to take some doing to get it out. But the other part of that was the land, cleaning up in the landscaping of the other side of the church side of that berm. If you'll make sure those two items. And I'll be honest with you, if it's all the same to the town, if the town could use that power pole, I'm sure. But it was a great starting spot, and I'm glad we were able to kind of blend it in a little bit. So thank you for your work on that.
That's good.
Yeah, I think Frank did a good job of getting that started at least, you know, and they were very cooperative in working with us, and we had to obviously take it a step further with the, you know, with Take 5.
Well,
wanted to change it all.
if we could continue to approach other buildings in town in that same manner, I think we'll be fine. Which is why we do have a BAR. Anything else? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.